Well, a day at the beach is no day at the beach here in Connecticut. State parks fill to capacity on the weekends, as you know. And if you want to visit a town beach and you don't live in that town with McKinney, get ready to take out a second mortgage for a day pass and parking. Cities and towns charge an arm and a leg for out-of-towners in an effort to keep their beachies only for townies only. In this session, some lawmakers want to see that change. Watch this.
I'm struggling with how I create a statewide policy in which extraordinary amounts of state funding are going to towns on our shoreline for beach access, for beach maintenance, for beach protection, for beach infrastructure, in which so much of our state has to pay an egregious fee to access those resources.
Well, to a well-tanned Joe Simowitz, obviously spends time on the beach.
Yeah, not that beach, and I'm actually going to defer over to Senator McKinney on this one. I think that's his home field. Let him get the first word here.
I don't know, that intro music made me feel like I was in Hawaii, and I wish I was. You know, first, I think we ought to just give some facts for people listening to this, because I hear Representative Lamar, and I'm struggling to understand the problem. I mean, I think, you know, anybody, anywhere, can go to any public beach in the state of Connecticut, whether it's from Greenwich to North Stonington. What we're talking about here is the number of parking spaces. So my old hometown of Fairfield with 60,000 people, they don't have enough parking spaces for people just from Fairfield, much less people from around the state. So what a lot of towns do is they charge different rates for people who live in town versus people who live out of town. Well, why do they do that? Because people in Fairfield and Westport and other towns pay tens of thousands of dollars in property taxes plus a fee for the beach. So they're paying way more than they're charging. Secondly, to Representative Lamar, I know $50 for a family of 5 or 6 is a lot, but you tell me, other than our state parks and beaches, which are free,
thanks to Kathy Austin.
Thanks to Kathy Austin, Craig Miner, and others, where can you get a full day of entertainment for less than $10 a person? You can't. You can't go to a ball game. You can't go to a museum. You can't go to lake compounds and do any of that. You can bring all your food. You can bring all your family. You can go to the beach. You can go fishing. You can go swimming. You can play in the playground. There's a lot to do. It's actually one of the better family values you can find. It's not an arm and a leg. And one last thing, because I have to say this. For Representative Lamar to be so upset that Westport charges more to someone from out of town to go to their beach, he's the same guy who pushed charging truckers from out of state more money than in-state truckers pay. So please, spare me.
I told you had a lot to say in this, and it's almost hard to follow. Look, I think this is really taking its lead from what we've talked about for many years in the state of Connecticut. It's the exclusionary zoning. And I hear what you're saying, John. So is there a solution? What about shuttle buses? What if we run shuttle buses from Bridgeport to there? Now we're not really having the parking, but the beach access is available. I think that's what people are getting at. It almost reeks of elitism, and I know that's not what they mean, and I understand your argument on the parking, but if these are our state beaches, they've accepted state money, they're accepting federal money, have them open, make it affordable for everybody to go to, and give them a parking spot.
The beach above the high tide line is owned by all of the towns, and it's maintained and paid for by all of the towns and the residents who pay the property taxes. But I'll tell you, I'm at the beach every day. That's where I go to walk and exercise. People are coming in out of cars, they're getting there, dropped off, and then they're parking elsewhere. They can get access.
All right, guys, so if you're wondering why you're seeing me right now and not George Stephanopoulos, you probably forgot to spring ahead. Next on Cap Report, the ongoing debate over daylight savings time. We refuse to sleep on this issue.